Welcome to Rollercoaster Talks, and this is going to be the first segment that I'm going to do on movie reviews. And this is gonna be a special one because the movie is pretty fresh. Like it came out yesterday, and I'm probably gonna be posting this like around 2 days after. So yesterday is gonna be another day. It won't make no sense anyhow. Well, the whole point of this is that I like movies, I like reviewing them, and I like to talk. So, if you haven't seen the movie, this is gonna be a spoiler review. So, go watch the movie and then come talk to me because I would love to share my thoughts with you and how this movie went. The movie I'm going to be reviewing this time around is The Devil All the Time, which is based on a novel of the same name written by Donald Ray Pollock, who also happens to be the narrator of the story, and he does an amazing job. Like, he's catching from the very first moment he starts, and I was all into the movie because it was very calling, Anyhow, the story was directed and co-written by Antonio Campos and Paulo Campos. It was produced by Jake Gyllenhaal and Randall Poster, and the main cast is composed by Tom Holland, Bill Skarsgård, Robert Pattinson, Sebastian Stan, Mia Wasikowska, Drew Starkey, and some people more. Before I go deep into the plotline of the story and what it meant and what I think of it and all of it, I'm going to give a big round of applause and cheers to the cast because they were incredible. Their performances were, in my opinion, very well done and right on point, to be honest, because the movie is quite crude and they made a good job at portraying that, especially because the characters that I had to hate, I hated them completely, without a second thought. And now, this comes all straight from my mind and what I remember, so I will probably be missing some facts, but stick with me anyhow. The story begins with the narrative, and they're in a field, and there's a man that's freaking crucified, and they have to put a bullet through his vein because he's still alive, and that wasn't as shocking because I've seen things that have been more shocking than that. But I imagine that, I don't know, because the movie is ambientated on like the second World War II, it is quite crude, and I could never even imagine what those people had to go through, like the things that they have seen, and I mean real life, not fiction. Like, it blows my mind completely. And well, then we follow the Bill Skarsgård character. So at first, I'm not going to lie to you, I was all hot eyes and I was so fucking happy because he was there, and I was like, oh my god, you're my fucking hero, I love you, and all of that. But then it came a moment in which I didn't give a fuck anymore about him because I was pissed off completely. Well, he meets this girl, they fall in love. I think that's how it works in the world, I don't know. Well, they fall in love, they get married, they have a son, and everything's going alright, but you know how things work. Like, life's a bitch, and the wife gets cancer, and yeah, that's pretty much it, except for the part that it got me really pissed off, and it was the part that father, like Bill's character, began to pray again and all of that, and he had like this little church in his backyard. Let's call it a backyard, but it was like sort of a forest. If you have seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about, so I don't really have to tell you. and he was like thinking that he had to make a sacrifice, so go listen and save his wife. So he fucking killed his son's dog. Like, I've got 13 dogs, you know, and the worst thing you can do to me, like, I can forgive so many things to characters, but not killing a dog. No, that's not a thing. Before I was like, you're my hero, I really like you, you're an amazing dad, you're an amazing person, and then I was like, fuck you, whatever happens to you from now on, I don't give a damn. And I didn't give a damn. By this time in the movie, some other stories have been introduced. Characters like those of Sebastian Stan, who played Lee Bodecker, and he was a cop who was running for some sort of election. I don't really know what kind of election that was, and I'm not interested in knowing, so I didn't pay attention to that part because I was completely not on it. But anyhow, then other characters that are introduced are those of Carl and Sandy Henderson, who are very messed up, incredibly messed up, in fact, because he's sort of obsessed with taking pictures of people, and what does he do is that he and his wife, who's Sandy, and also Sandy happens to be Lee Boyker's sister, that they pick up hitchhikers and take them to a place to take pictures of them with some sort of excuse before, and they fucking kill them and take pictures of the woman with the dead bodies, and sometimes she's like without clothing and all of that. And I was all the time like, that's some another level of fucked up, and I'm not even surprised, you know, because like people who are that messed up have existed in real life, so I just, what else can I say, right? Well, these Sandy and Carl are the ones who killed Leonora's father, and Leonora's father killed Leonora's mother because he was a preacher who had some sort of revelation, and supposedly God told him that he had to kill his wife because he will be able to bring her back to life. And that's another thing that's so messed up. And while we were watching the movie with my friend, we came to agree that it is a well done commentary on how people who are tremendously obsessed with religion or, beliefs in general are able to do whatever comes to mind, like the lengths they are able to go, right? Well, then Robert Pattinson's character is introduced, and he's Pastor T. Gardin, and he's a fucking jerk. Like, there's no way of denying that. There's no way in hell in which you can think otherwise of that man, because, like, since the very first moment he appeared, I was like, okay. But anyhow, it's like the story is set up for you to hate every single character that is presented to you. I mean, like, the only few people that I didn't completely despise were Helen, Lenora, Arvin, and his grandma and his uncle, because then it's just like everyone is just a pile of bullshit. It's a convention of horrible people, and everyone's on the same town. Incredible. You know that Arvin has been raised by his grandmother after his parents' death. The same happened with Lenora. And, well, so the thing is that she gets picked on by guys at school which are another set of complete jerks. Like I told you, it's a convention, everyone was invited. She gets picked on, and at some point, right after the preacher, the pastor is introduced, Arvin just does this great thing, and he just goes on full Punisher mode. I'm gonna say Punisher mode because that's something that Punisher will completely do. More like Daredevil, because he didn't kill them. So let's go with that. And first of all, Tom Holland in that scene was like, oh my fucking god. I love that kid. He's older than me. I don't know why I'm calling him a kid, but roll with me. He was amazing in that scene. Like, he nailed it every single moment. When he kicked the door of the car, I was like, he's so fucking ruining them right now. Now Arvin is avenging his stepsister. What is she doing? She's getting convinced by the preacher that they can have sex because he's a fucking awful person. He's horrible, like he's disgusting in all the senses, and he convinces her that talking, like having sex with him, getting naked in front of him, is basically being closer to God. And I despise so much, and it makes me so sad because like there's real people in the world who does that shit, and convinces minors that they should get naked, that they should have sex with them. And there's people who are in positions of power who do that, and it's disgusting. I was so fucking pissed in a way in which you cannot imagine. And from that moment I just started wishing for the worst on that character, because he was awful and I couldn't stand him. Like, I mean, props to Robert Pattinson because he did an amazing job. He actually made me hate them for a moment. Robert Pattinson, he and I share a birthday. So imagine, I don't hate them. I don't hate him. He's actually very nice. He's quite an amazing actor. But this time around, he made me hate him. And he made me hate the character, which it's a good thing to do. It's a great thing to do, actually, because that just speaks of how well the actor did his job. After that happens, it is revealed that Lenora is expecting a baby, and it's the pastor's baby, but he somehow talks her into being ashamed of it, and he says, oh my god, but he doesn't say this exactly, right? But he goes like, oh, but we were talking with God. It couldn't be mine because you and I were having a relationship with the Lord. Which, it's like, what functional person will believe that fucker into saying that? I wanted to kill him. Like, oh god. I just fucking hate people who take advantage of children. I just fucking hate them. Well, so the kid wants to kill herself. She realizes that she doesn't want to do it, and an accident occurs. It happens. And then it comes on a scene that made me cry, which is Tom Holland discovering his stepsister. And he fucking nailed it. He always nails that kind of scenes, because I remember when I was watching Infinity War, he fucking made me cry. And then in Endgame, he made me cry as well. I mean, like, I was crying in Endgame, I actually cried several hours after the movie was done. I think that I cried a few days too, because Tony. Well, and I don't know, Tom Holland is just an incredible actor, and that's pretty much everything I have to say. And that scene was just, it was heartbreaking, you know. There's not a second of it that I didn't feel. I mean, like, I wasn't so invested in her character, except for the fact that I wanted to protect her because she needed protection. But that just, he broke me. In that moment, he broke me. I'm going to make the rest real fast. So Arvin finds out that the pastor was the one, like, that Lenora was expecting a baby, and that it was the pastor. So he spends a couple of weeks checking on the man, and he finds out that he's doing the same to another girl. So he's watching the pastor's every move, and then he just decides that he's going to kill him, which comes to another great, incredible scene. And I just gotta say that Tom nails it. Like, he nailed the entire movie, without a doubt. And it was so freaking intense. What I didn't like about that scene was that I was really hoping he would have shot him, like, right away. But I know that they had to give him, you know, the Bella monologue and all of that, and a chance to explain what was happening and all of that. But I would have shot him, like, mid-speech, like, boom, baby. Get the fuck out of here. You're not going to heaven, bitch. You're going straight to hell. Because I don't know. I was so angry with that character that I wanted him dead. I wanted him dead completely. Well, then he runs away and all the thing, and he comes across Carl and Sandy, which they kill every hitchhiker they cross paths with after forcing them into taking pictures and all of that. And all the time while I was watching this, Carl was acting was playing his part, and I was like, my boy is not an idiot, you dumbass. He's gonna realize of it, because he's the only smart one. It seems like it, because he had a private years ago, a few months, a few days, I don't know, and he just went ahead with it. I don't know who in hell will have lunch with strangers. I mean, like, one thing is hitchhiking, right? But the other one, and a very different one, is having lunch with them and, like, letting them take pictures of you. Like, dude, I don't know if it's just me that I have a special instinct for avoiding people who have bad vibes, but I will run away. Anyway, he realizes of it, and he shoots the bastard like 2 times on the chest, and then by mistake, let's say mistake, he kills Sandy as well, but he didn't want to kill her. She shot him first, but she had her gun full of blanks, and then that's how it worked. So he runs away. Now Sebastian's character is chasing him because he just found out that his sister is dead, and whoever could have killed him and all of that. So he follows Arvin to the house in which he used to live with his father. But it's not the house anymore because the place was burned down. The thing is that Arvin went back there so he could bury his dog, which I have never seen John Wick, but which I have to. But it just reminded me to that. Like, I don't know, I had the need of making a joke about it and saying, oh my god, he's got the same intentions as John Wick, like, you kill my dog, prepare to die, or something like that. It was pretty funny on that sense, but it's actually something that pissed me off, and I cannot believe that nobody buried that dog. Like, how little humane can you be? So I was like, the cop is gonna end up dead. The cop ended up dead, and it's just, well, pretty much there. Then I guess Arvin, just no one's gonna be chasing him after that. Oh, that wasn't fast in the list. Well, now my final thoughts on this. The movie was pretty incredible. It is a very good critic to what extreme religion and like the extreme beliefs in general can cause, and how many bad people are hiding behind it. And it's just, I mean, in a scenery, it was so good, and actors made an amazing job. They were on point in every single moment. There's not a shot that I will say, oh my god, that didn't convey the energy. It was well done. It's a great job. I'm actually very happy that I've seen this movie, not because it is a happy movie, but because of the fact that it is, in fact, a well done job. And I don't know, I will give it a 10 out of 10. And I know that not many people might agree, but I really liked it. I enjoyed it. If you've come this far, thank you so much for listening. I am pretty annoying. I'm getting used to recording myself and like making a podcast and all of that, but I want to do it because I don't know, it's just a way of doing something different, and it's quite nice. And it's also a way of, I don't know, having a voice out there so people can talk to me as well. And so, coming to that, you can obviously leave comments and tell me whatever you think about the movie. I will be very glad to read them. You can also leave recommendations for movies or TV shows that you will want me to watch, because I will gladly do so. And so, yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much. Subscribe, like, comment, share if you want to. And, well, as always, remember to be positive, kind, and curious.